Nick Shirley interviews inside LA's homeless industrial complex. Because now we're going to get a little bit political. The fun's over. We're going to get a little bit political here. Because California infamously has been trying to stomp out ICE raids. And amongst its voter fraud and Gavin Newsom's new policies, and even with lessening on crime, and with more to keep illegals in the state, and with fraud and now reparations, we're looking at the actual effects of everything on Skid Row here. Welcome to California. Welcome to hell.
This is not a refugee camp, and it is not a war zone. This is downtown.
Oh, fuck. Forgot, once again, this is Skid Row, the infamous Skid Row, and it's only gotten worse since COVID happened.
Los Angeles, and you're looking at Skid Row, the most densely populated homeless area in all of America. Crammed into an area smaller than half a square mile are over 4,500 people living on the streets inside tents. That's more than 40 people per block, surviving and some even fiending for the next hit just to stay alive. To put it in perspective, Skid Row has more people per square mile than the entire city of Washington, D.C. and every single...
Look at the kids! Look at them! Toddlers! Just out here! Amongst this den of just depravity!
One of them are homeless. In this video, I'm walking you through the streets of Skid Row. You'll see the conditions up close and personal as I speak with the people living on these streets and giving you guys an in-depth look as to how this has happened and how it continues to happen.
I like the guy's shirt though. That's a funky looking shirt.
In one of the richest cities.
How is there? Oh, that's the aesthetic graffiti. Part of our city, part of our culture bullshit aesthetic graffiti. This isn't actual graffiti or vandalism. This was made to make the city look weird and cool. Meanwhile, they ignore the problems that live below them.
In America. Now, it's time for us to hit the streets of Skid Row, and I'm meeting up with a local by the name of Tommy Tomato to give us an inside look into Skid Row.
We're gonna hop in the car right now, and then we're gonna get out of the car, and we're gonna go talk to people around here in Skid Row.
They're just waking up this morning, so I think they'll be in good spirits right now.
Awesome, let's hop in the car and we're gonna drive around and we're gonna see what it's like before we get out on the streets. So here on Skid Row, when did this all start happening? About back in the 80s, or has this been kind of recently in these past couple years?
Well, Skid Row's always been here for a long time.
Okay, so it's been around since the 50s. Earliest documentation of the homeless crisis here, but
since about like the 70s, 80s, but now that they've actually expanded,
it only got worse and worse and worse.
They didn't have more homelessness, so they've actually gone past Skid Row, and you know they still call it Skid Row. It's just other sections as well. Newsom, he's been governor for a while, and he's been in politics for a long time.
He's done jack shit. The only thing he's done so far, besides mismanagement, scamming, decriminalization of heinous violent crimes, decriminalization of theft, decriminalization of drugs, decriminalization of, or basically bastardization of the police force. He's basically lined his pockets and has also done nothing but just go orange man bad and try to make himself to be the dark, the dark woke. What a piece of shit.
He's been trying to do this for 16 years, 17 years, fight homelessness, and he hasn't done anything with it except for spend an exuberant amount of money.
Since Gavin Newsom has been governor,
he is the definition of a crony. That smile, that fucking... He's the definition of a 90s crony politician. Right there, just the textbook picture dictionary definition of a crony politician.
Of California, over $24 billion has gone unaccounted for that was supposed to go to fighting the homeless crisis, and just recently LA failed to pass another audit for $2.3 billion that went missing.
Yep.
Some weird things are happening in
2.3 billion just gone.
California, especially
just drops in the bucket considering what these motherfuckers have had.
When the governor, Gavin Newsom, somehow just bought a $9 million mansion in the Bay Area.
Throw him out. By his fucking feet, throw him out. Just drag him by the feet, throw him out. Fuck him. We know what he's doing. There's no way in hell. This is why I'm always against career politicians. This is why I'm completely against going to school for political study and science. A politician should be the way the Romans had set it up, the Greeks had set it up, especially the Romans, where it was structured based off your career and you would only govern that sector of your career after being elected to office. This is just cronyist career politicians that need to be dragged from their fucking feet and need to be given the Mussolini treatment sometimes. Some of these motherfuckers absolutely would end up as Mussolini would have if we had a backbone as a nation.
Area.
Most of the people right here, they're all doing drugs. You know, they're getting their.
It's not just a United States thing. This is Canada. This is every fucking nation. These are cronies, just filthy, lying, scumming sack piece of shit. Not just Democrat, not just Republican. You fucking name it, right? Career politicians. It's a big club, and you sure shit aren't in it. And they'll play a little theater and then go lap behind the scenes and go do heinous shit on an island.
You know, buying things and selling things that, you know, they
laugh and spit in your face as these toddlers are left out on the street, which can, you know, which more often than not, this is where a lot of kids go missing. And you have these bunch of just people fiending off drugs with mental crisis, rampant violence. And they smile and wave as they're given another couple $1 billion that just goes magically missing.
So, like, look right here, we have a whole entire setup.
Look,
and people got chairs outside, tables.
Like they're expecting company, you know? They got their own outhouse that the city comes and cleans up. So it's a dangerous job for them, too, because they're cleaning up disease, you know, bathrooms, the needles.
So
I don't think most of these are, like, not all these are drug addicts, too. That's the unfortunate thing, because what gets muddled in the mix here, and I'm not trying to play devil's advocate, but what gets muddled in the mix of you know, people that would have been in an asylum back in the 80s, or people that would have, you know, who are on drugs, who shouldn't have been on drugs in the first place, who shouldn't have fallen into that style. You got people out here who legitimately cannot afford a home or housing, who will work. Some of these people may not even have jobs, or are just completely out of their jobs and have no more place to live. I don't want to talk about the illegals. I want to do the actual citizens that were born and raised and were not passport anchor babies. I'm talking to the actual citizens that are on the streets here. That, for example, that home, that little cabin that had a nicer little patio to them right next to that just pile of shit next door. Probably people who wanted to at least make the best of what they could for a situation because they wanted to feel semblance of what they used to have. The rest of this is just completely gone to shit, too. It's an amalgamation of just problems with the system.
Look, they're putting out a fire here. Literally, this is just on the street of LA. There's a huge fire.
It's not just exclusive to LA. Like, LA has a very notable one. Oregon's like this, too. You have not just the state of Oregon, but like the main parts of Oregon, like where the University of Oregon is, just horrific conditions. You have places like Washington, D.C. You have places up in just Washington State itself, right? Not even the states. You can talk about Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, parts of Calgary, right? Edmonton. It's a major metropolitan cities with very left-leaning, bureaucratic, just heavy bureaucracy. Have these because it's a rampant cesspit of incestuous corruption.
Fire going on, and what could be inside of this fire? Do you think it's just clothes, or do you think it could be
It's trash, it's clothes, it's their personal possessions, it could be drugs, needles, feces, it could be so many different things that are just going in the air.
You don't know what to breathe in.
That wasn't there when it'd be on fire, you know, and it's just a lot of funds for them to come and put this out and make sure, you know, people are safe.
helicopters coming around?
Yeah, helicopters, like...
There could be literally anything inside that fire. The fumes we could be breathing very toxic fumes of drugs, fentanyl, anything like that.
All types of stuff is in there for sure. I mean, they should be out saving lives, not saving a fire on a street corner at 11 in the morning, you know? It's not right.
How long have you been living here on Skid Row for?
June 28 will be 2 years.
You've been out here for 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
What keeps you here on Skid Row?
Basically, primarily, I can't afford to pay rent somewhere.
We're on 4th Street right now. We're about to help.
It's horrific down. I know it's absolutely horrific in California. Los Angeles especially. $4,000 for an apartment.
Over to 5th Street.
A little shitty apartment. I mean like a large condo. I'm talking about like a tiny multi-shared apartment.
Over to the heart of Skid Row. Is there anything we need to be careful about?
A lot of the rotten old food that they feed us out here, they really do that to try to kill us. They ain't really trying to help us. Anything that's 3 months out of date, you shouldn't be serving to nobody.
So they're serving you guys expired food out here?
Swear to God, and I'm Catholic, we don't believe in swearing. Swear to God. A lot of it.
And why do you think they're giving you guys expired food?
I know he's not completely there in the head. You can see the way he stares off. This is probably looking at someone else down the way too. But yeah, no, the man is sharp enough to know that he's able to just sniff out what's going on.
Part of the big plan. I really believe that's part of the big.
I know he's saying the big plan is like a vague thing that people like to hand wave away, but no, part of it is this. Work as a slave, fall through the riffraff, and then get shunted out with the corpses. We're entering some very dark times unless we can change direction.
Big plan.
And what's the big plan?
Well, the big plan is population reduction, you know? And the homeless is one of the first ones they believe that should go. We're like in the way.
So they're giving out this food, and right here you can see the water that's built up, and it's completely brown. And while we were walking with this man by the name of Norman, I noticed a group of migrants that had children that were living on the streets here on Skid Row. ¿Ustedes son de Colombia? Sí, somos colombianos, no escuchan la música. ¿Y cuánto tiempo ustedes llevan aquí en los Estados Unidos?
I'm going to assume they are here illegally. Because there's no way you can get into the States without speaking English through customs. So they're probably illegals. This is California, of course. First off, any illegal should not be here. They should not be living in squalor either, but more importantly, they should be living back at their home, back in Colombia. Come the legal way, come the legal method, but then you feel sympathy because they got children. I don't feel sympathy for the fact that their children are here with them. They should all be back in Colombia. They should all be shipped back to Colombia. And I think it'd be more of a mercy that they're sent back to Colombia because you obviously are not thriving here, and there's no way in hell you could thrive here.
Llevo 2 años. Cuando ustedes vinieron aquí a los Estados Unidos, pensaba que iba
The very policy that supposedly welcomes you is the policy that's killing you.
llegar aquí a este punto a vivir aquí en esta calle.
No, pensábamos que iba a ser una vida diferente.
The favelas of Colombia are far better than this. Than this hellhole that is Skid Row.
Ya nuestras vidas no íbamos a estar así como perros, no es como estamos como perros, porque no somos animales, somos seres humanos.
I would say they should be going back. Nicest way possible, saying they should go back for the safety of their kids.
Mira los niños, tenemos los niños aquí, ve. Una criaturita.
So here on Skid Row, we got migrants that came here from Colombia, and there's little kids here, and they live inside this tent. I imagine they didn't expect their life to be like this when they crossed over the border. ¿Ustedes pensaban que cuando cruzaron por la frontera, eso iba a ser la vida?
No.
No. Y Dylan, ¿te gusta vivir aquí en los Estados Unidos? No. Yeah, entonces, ustedes...
I don't blame the kid. He got dragged into this shit. How many of these kids were also born here as anchor babies in the States, too? They should not be here. They should be back in Colombia. They should be living and building a life in Colombia. It's far cheaper to build and live in a family in Colombia. As dangerous as Latin America is, this is far more of a dangerous situation to live in. The crime rate per population in capita of Skid Row, in Los Angeles, of this area, is far more dangerous than most of the favelas in Colombia. They should be back in Colombia, where it's safer for their children, where the children will be a part of the Colombia's education system. Not the best education system, mind you, but it's still an education system nonetheless than living in a fucking tent on Skid fucking Row. But just because the mean white guy says they should go back to where they came from because they're not here legally, people go and throw a shit fit. This is not fucking good. And just throwing money from the middle class and dragging the middle class down and even the just above the poverty line specs further down into debt for taxes to sap on them is even worse. Because all this whole eat the rich shit, it's only going to affect middle class and those who make more just above middle class, not the fucking leaders at the top of it all. It never does. It never will. And the ones who promote the most want to sit there at that clubhouse.
Pasaron por mucho para llegar aquí a los Estados Unidos,
claro.
Y ahora está viviendo en carpas aquí en uno de los más peligrosos lugares en todo el mundo.
¿Sí?
¿Y tu calidad de vida está mejor aquí que fue allí en Colombia? Or...
En Colombia.
I know I'm callous right now. I know I'm very callous. These kids should not be in this situation. They should not be living in the States in this squalor. They should be living in Colombia with a better life. That's what I believe in. Because I believe in coming to the States legally. But I also don't believe making your kids live in squalor. It's a failure on the parents' part. It's a failure on the system's part. They shouldn't be here. Should be sent back into Colombia and living where they need to live and thrive. and build up their nation.
Colombia.
And as I was talking to the migrants from Colombia, a group of non-profit workers that saw me videotaping the expired food they were handing out to the homeless people came and tracked me down, and they started getting a big...
Look at you. Big fucking nose, your frumpy pear-shaped body. I damn well tell you got a pudgy belly underneath that fucking that oversized sweater of yours. I know you dumb broads. I know your type.
Argument with us over me videotaping the expired food.
Go the fuck back to your stupid Starbucks and your fucking Pilates classes. Go the hell back to your little suburbs and live your cushy little life.
And just listen to what they had to
You're
say.
so brain dead and inept. The only thing you deserve in this life. You get your
Like, why am I getting in trouble for
here.
talking to these people? Why are you guys getting mad at me?
Yeah, why the fuck are you mad?
Just like trying to find what's wrong.
They're-
with what
Oh, what's going on? They're asking what's going on, huh? They're asking the shit that you're giving out. The shit that you bought off basically for pennies because it was so overexpired.
instead of like
Don't give me that fucking hand wave and hand pack. We see the fucking hand pack signs. You dumb bro. Keep your hands at your
okay, it
fucking
would be
sides
great
like
if
your dumb
people
blonde friend here.
donated stuff that wasn't used and was brand new. That would be great. So instead of you guys promoting the charities that are actually trying to help,
Promoting the chairs. No, you're not helping. You're poisoning them with way overexpired produce. This is not even canned shit. This is not even highly processed food that's terrible for you. This is fucking rotting produce.
Yeah, we're just showing what's going on, and we're talking to people. If you guys want to get mad at us for filming, like, go ahead.
She was asking if your guys' food was expired or not.
That we passed out, those 15 maybe were expired.
There's the hand
we
packing.
left them there because there's no like trash can.
So you just dumped it. You didn't take the 15 minutes to go fucking do it. You four get fucked or raped with a rhino's dick. Fuck you. Get fucked and raped with a rhino's dick. Okay? You take your little platitude and stick it way up in the sun, don't shine, sister.
Put it.
Thomas, so we're just talking to people, and we're talking to people, and then we get a group of nonprofit people. They're trying to make a difference in what they're doing, but they get mad at us for, in our way, doing what we can to help make a difference.
Exactly, and what they're doing too is they're assuming. They're like, don't put the camera in the field. No, we ask permission first and make sure that it's okay if they want to speak on the camera before we actually do that. So, kid that you guys were looking at, she said those aren't even the parents. So I said, so who's the parents of the kid? They're like,
Oh my god. Coyotes. That's human trafficking. Those are fucking coyotes.
well, we don't know. And I said, well, then there's a trafficking issue, you know? And then now when the camera came, they're like, oh, no, it's not a trafficking issue. That's not what we said. 2 seconds ago, the lady just said there's a trafficking issue down here, that kid is not belong to them.
Is there a lot of human trafficking and like child trafficking that goes on here in this part of the area?
Ain't no telling what the fuck is it doing.
We actually did confront them about the
How many kids go fucking missing? I don't even want to know.
expired food, and she said,
I don't want to think about it. God damn it all.
well, there's thousands of food, and maybe 15 of those are expired. How do we know that only 15 of them are expired if there's mixed in with the thousands?
Exactly.
So that those liberal, middle-class, dumb fucking broads are enabling this shit. So they can feel platitude and pat themselves in the back. You fucking cunts.
They don't know. And primarily, I'm glad she told you that. And I'm glad she refused to give me some food, but more than likely, it was expired anyway. That's some bullshit, man.
What are the most people consuming out here on Skid Row? What kind of drugs are they taking?
All of it. I'm so scared that I might have a friend that used that fentanyl. I'm so scared because they're giving it to anybody, you know?
Do you think this is all planned, or how do you think they stop all this?
Stop it. It's growing.
The fentanyl epidemic is just horrific. Nationwide, actually continental-wide, it is fucking horrific. I'm seeing people who are off crack withdrawals. I'm not talking about fentanyl just yet, but like off crack withdrawals, running in front of cars, bouncing around, jumping around, tweaking out, squirrely, and just nothing's being done about it. And then you see people with fentanyl just lean and tilting at gratuitous angles all over the street, like from egregious angles. They're just leaning all over, and I can't walk the streets of where I lived anymore. Like, it was just that bad.
It's not stopping.
It's not stopping.
It's taking over meth.
How many of your friends have died out here?
3.
Okay, we see you got some stuff in your hands. What do you have in your hands today?
Lighter, pusher, pipe.
What kind of drugs are you consuming here on the streets?
Alcohol and crack.
And crack. Is that crack? Is that cocaine, or is it, when you say crack? Are people taking a lot of fentanyl here as well?
Very much. I've lost about 20 friends to fentanyl.
Holy shit.
Within the last half a year.
And did those friends know that they were taking fentanyl, or was it just laced with the crack?
The lacing. They will cut and lace product. For what purpose, I don't know. I do not know.
Yep, laced.
In terms of like economic wise for drugs, for like drug dealing, I don't know why they're cutting or lacing their stuff with it, because it kills off their main clientele. But then again, I don't think drug dealers are mentally sound. I don't think the people, the triads that make it, are mentally sound either. They obviously do it for violence. It's a fear tactic as well. Sure. You gotta remember, a lot of the fentanyl epidemic we talked about with how it came from, a lot of stuff came from China, or through the southern border, through coming from China. The triads really do rule the ports. I can tell you how bad it got up in Canada. In high school, they were getting us prepped with fentanyl training courses and infomercials in our classes, where we'd have to go and sit down in the assembly to learn about fentanyl and its dangers, and get ready to do Narcan training. When I was in high school, when I was 14, 15, getting ready to do Narcan training. We'll have safe shoot-up zones. We'll have safe needle places. We'll have safe this. We'll have safe that. We'll have safe blah fucking blah. There were kids that were dying, like actual children that were dying, that were going to the public library, and their hands made contact with a handle of a door, or the handlebars going down the steps, and they OD'd because fentanyl was on those. Children as young as 6, if I remember correctly. You think I'm making fucking jokes here? I know I'm not getting mad, Chad. I'm sorry, sure. I don't want you to think I'm mad at you, but it's just an unbridled hatred and sickening disgust I have for this middling bureaucratic policy. The policy I believe in is what I go by philosophy of Bodenplatte. To grind stuff in with a boot heel. Essentially, I may be very libertarian, I may be very self-reliant, I may be very take one to do your own hands, but you know what I believe in personally? To get to where we need to have a complete reset, it may sound accelerationist. You need a almost autocratic system to wipe the slate clean. It sounds very accelerationist, I know. But Rupert Lowe in the, if that's his name, was it Rupert Lowe who's in the UK's in the current UK party that's really taking off now? He's the last bureaucratic decision. He's the most of the rational choices. He's the most extreme of the rational choices of bureaucracy to be going through in the UK for their reform. I believe it will take Bodenplatte to annihilate the sins of what we have to deal with, to wipe a slate clean in return. And this is not saying of killing. This is not talking about any form of extremism or any form of rampant violence across the world. There's no glowing here. I'm saying it will take a very autocratic option to go in and clean the mess that is creating from the top down these problems. So I'm also very much against career politicians. I hate career politicians. You should not be going to politics as a fucking career. How the fuck do you walk in on a supposed salary of like $80,000 in the highest position for senators, and you walk out a multi-millionaire, if not billionaire? No, it's not from all just inside trades either. Backroom dealings and all that bullshit. I'm tired of this apathy of, oh, it's just a big club, you're not invited, bro. It's just the way the world is. There's just some times where it's not just a matter of, oh, it doesn't affect me, so it's a disgusting thing that of unfairness that doesn't affect me. No, it's affecting everyone now. Boomers that live in their little fantasy world of delusion that they're getting hyped up by the government because they get paid hand over foot by the government. You got people, the whole thing's disgusting.
Did that scare you right now?
It did. I actually had left for about a month. You know, I went home to my mom for a little while because it was just too much for me.
And now, what brought you back here to Skid Row?
Drugs.
How do you guys make your money out here on the streets?
Well, me personally, I clean.
The fuck is that? He's got a Barbie. He's got a Bratz CD player.
You know, I clean garbage, trash,
okay,
and I sell dope.
You sell fucking dope. The crackhead sells dope. Yeah, I'm sure he never listened to the 10 Crack Commandments.
Yeah,
It's the one about the guy that had to flee his house in Britain because his boomer parents were in 1984. Oh yeah, no, I saw on Kirsch's stream. I don't know what the guy was supposedly preaching because there's also that question of was he saying stuff about groypers? Was he a groyper, good sir? Was he a groyper? I don't give a shit if he was a groyper. I don't agree. I don't like groypers either, but fuck it. I don't think you should be turning your son in. But the wailing mother, oh, my son's a horrible person. Oh, please help me, please. Oh, good God. For every traitor of the nation, send them back, stripped naked, into the shitholes that these motherfuckers, that the infesting hordes came from. If the white liberal women love them so much, if the liberal women love them so much, you fucking send them back stripped butt naked down into the fucking Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, not Saudi Arabia, like you send them back to where they fucking came from. Send them to Somalia too, stripped butt naked down. See how long they last. You love them so much, go live with them. That's my thoughts on it. And then back to this motherfucker. Oh, I sell dope. The crackhead sells dope. Great.
Supplement.
And when you sell those drugs to the people, do you feel some sort of responsibility if anything wrong happens?
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty confident in the product that I do sell because
I'm confident in the product I sell that I tap into. That's being merciful too. I'll let nature sort it out. Send them back, I mean. No, I'm not gonna glow. I'm not glowing. There are some though that did commit heinous acts. I got a different plan for those ones. And it's more than the quick merciful end by Mr. Chippy for those ones. You know, the grooming gangs, the rape gangs, and the cannibal gangs, and trafficking gangs. I got a little bit more of an interesting idea for those types. And it's more than Mr. Chippy. I just don't want to say what I would say. I can't say what I want to say.
The people who I get it from is very conscientious of their product.
Oh, so now your slate's clean. Yeah, okay. I'm confident in the product that I sample. Of course, he samples it. Probably samples it himself. I'm very confident in it. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Because of their clientele.
You're a real patron saint, aren't you?
Yep. Okay, so you have a lot of confidence in what you sell. You don't...
Definitely. I stick to the same thing that been working with me for years.
Do you ever have any plans to stop selling, to stop living here on Skid Row?
As of right now, no.
I want Jadolf Jelly Jitler to take care of the work for the wah-wah-wah-wah-wahs. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take the jelly. I like jelly more than Pippa. I'm gonna be on jelly side for that part.
Honestly, no. I guess I'm here today. Run us out.
A lot of the people here on Skid Row think they are just taking dope or any other substance. However, with the rapid increase of fentanyl, many times it gets laced into these other harmful substances. And fentanyl is so strong just to
Well, yeah, I had to live in fear of touching anything outside in the city I lived in, even for stability. For this was around every corner.
Sprinkle of it can kill you. I beg you, if you are watching this video, please stay away from fentanyl like it's the Black Plague.
And the worst part is that little amount of fentanyl is enough to kill a human man, like an average man. There are toddlers and babies crawling around. I told you before, there were cases in my city where 6-year-olds were dying because they just touched a handlebar going to the public library. There are children. Like that's enough to kill a man. Half, like a quarter of that was enough to kill a child. Those kids are crawling around there. Kids that they're not even with their own parents. They've been trafficked in. God. They say LA is they say Las Vegas is the city of sin. The politicians that made this fucking mess, that profit off it, that skimp the money from it, deserve Sodom and Gomorrah. This is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah.
So deadly and is killing so many people. Please stay away.
This guy is clearly, he's passed out right now. How do we know that he is still alive and that he doesn't need Narcan right now?
He's breathing. You see his chest rising and it's going up and down and his color's good. Now if he's blue, he's not responsive, his color's gone, he'd be like a blue, gray, purple color, then you know he's overdosing.
Okay.
So the most important thing is to hit him with Narcan. Doesn't matter how much Narcan you give him. You know, if you got 3 in here, give him all 3 and rescue breaths.
Okay, so what's in here? What's inside this bag?
Okay, so
this Narcan, you inject into their nose and it brings them back to life.
Yes, sir, yeah.
While I was talking to the guy about Narcan, my friend Tommy was also talking to another guy in the cart about some other things, and I think you guys are all going to find this very strange what he'd received from the people on the cart.
We were talking to the people over there in the van, and they're giving out free stuff. They're giving out the Narcan to save people, and then they're also giving out needles. And what's their... Like, what's the idea of giving out needles and the rubber bands?
This is so they could do the drugs, like, without worrying about disease, so everyone gets a clean needle.
That's like, how many needles inside there? There's
27, 10 of them.
There's 10 needles inside of this bag.
So dope up, OD, come back, repeat. And I know what they're doing. I know I've seen just the epidemic of just clean needles or using needles, distribution of needles has been a horror show. I know it's been going on for over a decade. I know major metropolitan cities do it. They also have their clean areas for you to shoot up in and get doped off of and sit in and be doped on. I hate this whole decriminalization of drugs. The war against drugs, we know how it failed because it was literally corrupt from the bottom up, from the CIA profiting off it. We saw with Iran-Contra as being the biggest examples of that, but it's just known. But the one that gets me the most, though, is that if I go to my gym, and I know they're doing it for people who do roids, but just having buckets now that you'd see only in hospitals for administration of, actual needles for medical use and for surgeries. They have those biohazard containers now at every single gym I've been to. And I can tell you, not everyone there is doing roids. Some people are shooting up in the gym. It is fucking horrific. It is everywhere. And it's not just also the homeless crack epidemic. You also have the rich kids that go and get their party drugs and they get hopped up in the gym and then they start wilding out, too. It's disgusting. This whole culture of depravity is just insane. And we've only encouraged it. We should be showing fucking train spotting to kids in high school or in elementary school instead of doing the Just Say No campaign in some cases. That's not a fix-all for any of this shit. This is just only like a small portion of anything. But kids should be forced to watch train spotting.
You get everything, the whole kit. You get the rubber band, you get the alcohol, you get the cotton swabs, but then this is what you actually put it in here and heat this up, and then they give you filtered water.
So they're literally giving the
water
people here
to
on the street what they need to keep doing drugs.
And it's funny because if you notice, like in your hand, you have the Narcan one, right? So they're giving you the drugs, the stuff to do the drugs, right? This, glass pipes, and then they're giving you the stuff to save your life. so you don't die, and then they give it to you every day. And look, I'm not even homeless. I just went up to the guy and said, hey, can I get a Narcan bag and can I get a drug bag? And the guy said, yeah. No questions asked, no, hey, don't do this, or can we get you some help? No, they're just offering you the drug bags to do the drugs. They're not offering you any kind of help or assistance or any kind of detoxing. They're just giving you the materials.
They're giving you the drugs
to do the drugs.
They're giving you the stuff you need to do the drug, and they're giving you the stuff that you need to revive your life after you do the drugs.
Think about how much money this costs for these packs to be given out daily to so many people, when that money could be going to other programs to help them. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, here, kill yourself, save yourself, kill yourself, save yourself. It's a cycle, and it's not fair to them.
And before I left Skid Row, I had to see what it looks like inside of one.
Well, this guy's pretty good shape. I mean, he's probably doing calisthenics, but this guy's in pretty good shape.
How long did it take for you to make your shelter here?
About a day, maybe. About a day. Yeah.
And can I go inside, check it out?
Yeah, go ahead, check it out. Go ahead. I mean, ain't nothing there you can steal because I ain't got no money.
He set up a closet inside of here. His air mattress right here. It's built up on a platform, and he's got water set up. It ain't much. However, it is completely free to set up a tent here in LA versus paying $3 to $4 grand for an apartment. It really ain't that bad inside there.
It shouldn't exist in the first place, but he's making do with what he can.
No, I mean, I try to keep it cool. Like I said, wherever you live, if you make it your home, hey, got to keep it clean,
Inside your tent right here, do you get rats that come in?
Yeah, they come in, but then they go out. Soon as I, because I put this on the floor, that's pine sol and bleach.
I guess I'll do it. Jesus Christ. I'm really appreciative for Nick Shirley taking up the mantle of investigative journalism, because this was just insane.